The Serapeum in Saqqara Egypt holds a puzzle as great as the pyramids themselves. However, at least with the pyramids, there are a couple suggestions on its possible construction methods. But the Serapeum has none. Zero. Not a single theory has ever even been speculated to describe the incredible feats that were achieved in connection with the Serapeum. First, let's start with the amazing 24 giant granite sarcophagi found within. They line the long corridor of the Serapeum, tucked into their own separate hollows. They measure 4 meters long by 2.5 meters tall and wide, roughly. They consist of solid stone box carved from a single piece of granite, along with the lid to match, also carved from a single piece of granite. A feat today that is impossible even with modern machines. We can only make the box from separate pieces and then bolt them together. And if one were so inclined, if you wanted a box made from separate pieces of granite, set from the stone quarry in Aswan to Saqqara, 500 miles away, the cost of materials, man-hours, and shipping would be close to $20 million. The boxes are so perfect in their construction that the walls are 2/10,000ths of an inch flat. After polishing, it gave them a mirror-like reflection. The lids are so perfectly flat and level with the top of the box that they are in fact airtight, meaning if you were to drop the lid on top and it didn't break, it would force the air out of the box, creating a vacuum inside. So for all you kids out there, that means you could drop a hammer and a feather inside and they would hit the ground at the same time. Together, the box and the lids have a combined weight of around 80 tons. So we already find a manufacturing method of indescribable nature. Now we find a transportation method of the same indescribable nature. It's one thing to argue manpower, levers, jacks, pulleys, rollers, or cranes when it comes to temples or pyramids, but it's another when it's underground and these options become obsolete. There was a modern attempt to move one of the smaller stone boxes, but it failed after a meter or so. The box still sits in the middle of the corridor, forcing tourists to squeeze their fat asses by. Then comes the date. The Serapeum is said to date from 18th dynasty of Amenhotep III, the New Kingdom, circa 1388 through 1350 BCE, somewhere around there. Now, how did they reach this date? From a papyrus from the king ordering the construction of additional rooms to those catacombs to bury an Apis bull, which is what the accepted belief is for, when it comes to what the boxes are for, that being sarcophagi for the sacred animal. But when we look at the design and materials used in the sarcophagi, you find the designs of the 18th dynasty do not match. At that time, the designs were anthropomorphic, showing the look of the mummy inside, made from wood, limestone, or terracotta, but plain, solid granite sarcophagi date from early and predynastic Egypt. And the fact that no mummies were found inside the giant boxes. There were some other sarcophagi found inside where Amenhotep ordered their construction, but there was only one bull inside, a wooden sarcophagus, in the kneeling position, and the box matched the size of the bull. So, what's the Egyptologist explanation for this? Well, it was robbed. Okay, really? Did it have gold or diamonds in it? Well, no. What did it have? Well, it had a real heavy lead and a dead fucking bull. That's what it had. That's what they expect us to believe. Once again, tomb raiders and grave robbers broke in, moved the lids that we can't move today, stole the mummified remains of an Apis bull, then moved some of the lids back in place, and on their way out decided to completely seal off the entrance with gigantic stones so large that we use dynamite to open them in modern times. Now, there was one stone box that had not been opened. Its outside was very rough-hewn stone. As we broke through the side of the rough granite wall of the box, we found it was completely empty. So that doesn't make sense already, but if you keep going, it gets even weirder, because the inside of that stone box, we still get measurements of 2/10,000ths of an inch flat with a mirror-like finish. How the hell does that make any sense at all? If it was sealed, Why was the inside finished? It appears to be like one giant boulder of granite with the top portion sliced off, then the bottom hollowed out, and the top put back on, making a perfect seal. So what's that leave us with? Another case of Occam's Occam's razor. The simplest answer tends to be the right one. Now, usually we use two thought processes, theories and common sense, to reach a conclusion in archaeology. However, Egyptology only seems to need one of these to reach a conclusion.